Now this example that we created here, we created initial values for our properties. So what happens if you do not define an initial value? Well, with a structure, you can go ahead and, as you create it, now you can define the values. However, with a class, if you do not assign initial values, and you try and run your code, you have to create what's called an initializer. And an initializer basically is a simple function and all you do is assign the properties self.name, which is this, and self.age, which is this. So all you do is assign those to values, and when you create your object, then you can assign it values. So now if we go ahead and print this, and run our code, you'll see that it prints Rover and age of 3. And so the main difference between a structure and a class when you do not define an initial value is that a structure lets you go ahead and create this when you create a variable based on that structure. But with a class, if you do not assign initial values, you must create what's called an initializer, which lets you assign values when you create your object based on your class. So with object-oriented programming, you're going to see this a lot, where you define a class and then you define one or more objects based on that class. So that's the difference between a structure and a class. So let's look more into classes and object-oriented programming and the advantages of using classes.